Assalamu alaikum. The letters we are going to learn this week are Seen, Sheen, Sod and Dod. They are mostly, for most part, week 6 letters. You should be able to find the page in your book. Seen, Sheen, Sod and Dod. On the line, they go on the line, but tummy goes below the line. Please notice all 4 of the letters have tummies which go below the line. Seen, Sheen, Sod and Dod. So we will be discussing how to use them in writing. Letter Seen, its beginning form is just the first half again. Middle form is the first half with the extension, and end form is the full form. Letter Sheen is 100% same way, except that letter Sheen has 3 dots. So this is how Seen and Sheen comes into play. You notice Seen is a very clear S sound, S sound, while Sheen is S and H in parentheses. Seen is for S, crisp, clear S sound, and Sheen is with the S and H. As we do the alif practice, when you put alif in front of a letter, like we have done in the past, you get to see the exact sound of the letter. With letter Ba, it is Ab. Letter Ta, it is At. Letter Tha, it is Ath. For Seen and Sheen, it is As. As. So you see your teeth are straight, lined up. As. And for Sheen, it is Ash. Ash. Us and Ash. So this shows you where exactly the letter comes from. So let's try to write a word using these letters. U-S-T-R-A-A. You have a long vowel. The first letter is U, which means alif with Dhamma. Then you have S, the letter Seen, which we learned today. S is in the middle, so we should use the middle form, but because letter alif doesn't allow to join, we have to use the beginning form with the sukun. After that, you have letter T, which is equivalent to Ta. So letter Ta, we could use this part of Seen and just treat it as a Ta, and then we have Ra, like this, and finally we have Alif. Us. Well, we cannot have 2 letters with sukun, so let me put a here. Ustara. U-S-T-A-R-A-A. Using alif with dhamma, Seen with sukun, ta with fatha, ra and alif. We could also write it like this. But then we have this extra space in between, which is not really needed, so that's why this extra space of sa, Seen, we could use it for ta instead. So that's why I wrote it like this instead. Similarly, another word, Ba with fatha, Ra with fatha. Sheen, the middle form, wants to go and connect with Ra, but Ra refuses, so Sheen will go by itself. And then an alif for 2 ways, that's the vowel for Sheen. Finally, Ta in the end form, wanted to join with alif, but alif refused. And so, you see how we wrote these 2 words. We could put a fatha on Ra here, being the younger brother of alif. We could put a fatha on sheen here, being the younger brother of alif, but it's not really needed. Another word we could write ta with fatha, ra with fatha, seen in the end form, wanted to join with ra but wasn't allowed. Hopefully fairly straightforward there. Finally, sheen with the dhamma. Sheen in parentheses with you is a dhamma, and then you have ba, ba with alif. So again, you can use this space of sheen, see sheen, put an alif here, put a fatha if you want. Letter Jim next wants to join with alif, but alif refuses, so Jim goes by itself in the full form, right there for you. Hopefully that explains letter Seen and Sheen. Letters Sod and Dod bring another discussion for us. Sod, as you notice, has a vowel, has a oval form. Dod, same way. Sod and Dod have a oval start. It is not round, it should be oval, if possible. Sod and Dod. The difficulty with Sod and Dod is that they are actually a modified form of existing letters in terms of saying them. They are a letter by themselves with their own uniqueness, with their own identity, but they have some relation with the other letters. Sod is basically a fat or round mouth form of seen. How we say seen, our mouth is flat. Seen, sheen. Both of these letters require our mouth to be flat. But sod, although it is a similar sound like seen, the mouth has to be round. Sod, sod, sod. You cannot say it with a flat mouth. So these two letters have similarities in them, in the sound. Seen is a simple straight S, but sod is a round mouth S. And as a result, we use S with U with parentheses around it to show that we are going to use sod. Dod is similar to letter dal. Dal is a flat mouth letter, dal. But dod requires your mouth to be round. Dal versus dod. Dal versus dod. As a result, dod is written with the parentheses around it and du in the parentheses. Sod, dod. Sod, dod. As a result, when we have words where seen and sod are used, our mouth should convey the correct pronunciation. So for example, the word sabar versus sober. Sabar versus sober. Sabar versus sober. Sabar versus sober. Sod requires your lips to come together to make the round mouth. Sob, saw. Similarly, da requires your mouth to be more round than the usual letters. So, when we practice sod and dod with alif, S versus S, S versus S. Your lips have to become round, and it takes some time to practice this. Similarly, ad, Dod requires your mouth to be round. Sod and dod. When we write them, some examples. In the homework, you will see we are using ta with dhamma, sod, su, with a sukoon, ra with a fatha, and then dod with a sukoon. Ta with dhamma, sod. Oops, didn't do a very good job of making the oval shape. Sod. And if you look at the beginning, middle, and end form in your worksheet for sod and dod, you will notice this. Sod as a sukoon, and then there is some space after it. You can use it, you can skip it. You have to learn it over the time, when to use this extra space and when not to use. So sod with the sukoon, and then you have ra with a fatha. So either we could put the ra like this with a fatha, or you can skip this altogether and just make it like this. Either way is okay. Ra with a fatha. Finally we have dod with sukoon. Dod cannot join with ra, so dod with sukoon. Sod with sukoon, ra with fatha, dod with sukoon. Hopefully this is clear. Now let's try to write a couple more words. In Quran, one of the words similar to this one happens. Tarabbus. So ta with fatha, ra with fatha, two B's, two same non-vowel letters next to each other. First one has a sukoon, second one has a vowel. You can use shadda. With the dhamma, sod, parentheses, su, sod, with the fatha. Ta with the fatha, ra with the fatha, ba with the shadda, dhamma, sod with the fatha. Inshallah, this is making sense. Last one. Dod with a fatha. Dod with a fatha, ra with a vowel, long vowel. If you want, you can put a dhamma, younger brother of vowel ra. Another ra. This ra will be half above, half below, while this ra is fully below because it is attaching with the previous letter. The ra which doesn't attach is more like above and below with the fatha. And then ta with sukoon. So we wrote one word with sod and dod, another one with sod, and then we wrote one with the dod, and these two are real words. Darurat and this one, tarabbasa. Inshallah, you learned seen, sheen, sod, dod. You learned how to use them in the words. I also showed you how to use them with the alif practice. Seen, sheen, sod, dod, as, ash, as, ad. Inshallah, you enjoyed the lesson. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.